Hey guys, it's CrystalRenèe here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, thanks for joining. In this video, I'm going to show you how I propagate my Philodendron Scanden, aka heartleaf philodendron. So I picked this plant up about 2 months ago and did not have any trailing. So you can imagine how fast it grows just by looking at how long the trails are. Now don't get me wrong, I do love the trails, but I prefer a more bushier look. So I'm going to cut the vines back and propagate them, and I'm going to show you how I do that in just a moment. You always want to start by sanitizing your pruners and use alcohol to do so, and I will show you an example of that now. Now when cutting the vine back, I don't want to go so far back to where there is no hangage over the pot, if you know what I mean. So I'm trying to look to see exactly where I want to cut it so that it still looks full. Keep in mind, I am cutting about half an inch to an inch below the node of where I'm placing my cut. If you're not sure what the node is, this is a node. So there's no right or wrong place to cut. You just cut wherever you prefer. And don't be nervous or afraid. Remember, our plants like to be pruned back sometimes. And also remember, pruning your plants promotes more growth. Now for the final cut. And she still looks good. Now let's get into propagating these vines. So this clipping is short enough to be its own piece, so I'm just going to shorten the stem at the bottom and possibly remove the bottom leaf. I'm going to follow the same steps with each piece. Once this is done, you're going to want to submerge the node into water. I tend to use a clear container because I like to see how fast the roots are growing. In case you missed how this was done, I'm going to show you how to do it again. When determining how long I want to make my cut, I tend to leave at least 2 to 3 leaves on each cut. That way, it could be already partially trailing when it's rooting up. Be sure to set your cuttings in a bright area where they can get plenty of sun. Sad to say, you always lose a few leaves that cannot be saved. Now I'm on my way to have 2 plants. So now that all the vines are gone, maybe now this plant can focus on pushing out more new growth and potentially have more trails in the future. Hopefully in about a 2 weeks time, I should see some new growth on the roots of the cuttings that I made from this heartleaf philodendron. So for whatever reason, if you missed the steps before, let me quickly go over them now. When you first begin to propagate, you're going to need to use sterilized pruners. Use alcohol to clean your tools always so that you cannot transfer any fungus or diseases between plants. Be sure to cut a 1/2 inch to 1 inch below the node where you want to place your cut. Submerge your node into some water and set in a bright space, and you should have roots within 2 to 3 weeks. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't followed me yet, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer all questions. Thank you so much for taking the time out to watch this video, and hopefully you made it to the end, and until next time, happy growing! Hey, don't forget to follow me on all my social media platforms. And until next time, happy growing!